I want to chat about the word steadfast today. It's been used several times throughout our James study, but it came up again today in chapter 5, verse 11, where it says, "We consider those blessed who remain steadfast." And then it mentions Job as someone who has been steadfast in the midst of trials. So if you remember, the first time we see the word steadfast in the book of James is back in chapter 1, the very beginning of the chapter, where it tells us to count it all joy when you face trials of many kinds. Why? Because the trials produce in you a steadfastness and a maturity that could not be produced otherwise. Some versions use the word patience. Another version uses the word perseverance. So count it all joy, or consider it all joy when you face trials of many kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces patience. It produces perseverance. Trials produce endurance. Trials produce steadfastness. Trials produce patience in us. And then it goes on to say, and let steadfastness, or let patience or perseverance finish its work in you. Why? So that you may be mature, lacking nothing. So at the beginning of the book of James, we are told that trials serve a purpose, and we can consider trials with joy because those trials produce in us steadfastness of the faith. They produce in us perseverance and endurance and patience. And those are all things we should long for as followers of Christ. Also, it's a fruit of the Spirit, right? Patience and self-control are fruits of the Spirit. And so God is using the trials in our lives to produce in us a steadfastness. Then we get to the end of the book of James, and it says, you're going to be blessed. When you remain steadfast, as you go through these trials, as you count them as joy, I'm producing in you steadfastness. And when you are steadfast, you will be blessed.